What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and we are here for another Madden 21 Fantasy Draft Rebuild Challenge. And this idea actually comes suggested by you guys, and I thought it was pretty intriguing because so far in all of these fantasy draft rebuilds, I've had an idea of who's going to be on my team. I had an idea how hard the rebuild's going to be, if I'm going to be winning it in years 1 and years 2, like we did in the very first one, where I only can draft players that were older than me, so a team built up of people that are 28 and beyond. And I knew that that was going to be a very short window. And there's other ones where we take like, oh, the best players on the worst team. It's still, I have an idea of like what collection of players are going to be able to acquire. Well, this rebuild is the Alphabet Fantasy Draft Rebuild. We're starting at A and going all the way to Z. And for all of like the prime letters, you know, A, B, C, D, like all those ones, we're going to just go on last names. Like when we get to the A's, we're going to be looking for like Jamal Adams, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, Jair Alexander, guys like that, right? But then once we start getting down to some niche letters like, you know, X, Y, well, maybe not Y, but like X and Z and stuff like that, I'm just going to go with, you know, for X, there's a lot of Xaviers. So like sometimes we'll have to de facto to the first name because there's just no players available. Z, I have no idea what we're going to do there. Maybe I'll even just say if you have a Z in your name because it's going to be at way end of the draft. But Zylstra, Brandon Zylstra, look, wide receiver coming from the CFL. So that is what we're going to do. But the reason why this rebuild idea is so interesting, because it's not overly creative. It's not like, oh my God. This is almost like, this isn't even Madden content. This is art. It's not like it's getting in the realm of that. But the fact that I have no idea what my final roster is going to be is what makes this so intriguing. So without further ado, because we're going to be showing off a little bit more picks. Usually we just show off the first 10 picks, but for this, might as well show off all A through Z. Let's get into it. Let's build our team. And I figure let's just use the 49ers as our base team because they're the only team in the NFL that's team name doesn't start with a letter. Of course, we picked 5 and probably the best selection in A's right off the board in Jair Alexander. So that's awesome. So we are now sitting here having to think about it. We're looking for guys that start with A. Teron Armstead is the highest overall player, 95. We have Devontae Adams at, how old is Devontae Adams? 27 Superstar X Factor. Comparison, really the only other option, I think, that's legit. I mean, Keenan Allen's 28, Superstar X Factor 92. But in that argument, you're probably just going to go Devontae Adams because it's a little bit better. It's between Jamal Adams. And I figure the fact that Jamal Adams is 24, this could end up a 5-year rebuild. Who is going to be the best player at the end of this 5-year rebuild? But, you know, It's one of those things when I'm playing, and I play a lot more offense than I do defense in these videos. Who's going to be more beneficial to me? And I feel like it would be Devontae Adams. So we're not going to overthink it. Jair Alexander was my number one idea at the top of my head, but we'll go Devontae Adams for the first pick of our Alphabet draft. And he is number 20 in true value, getting him at pick 5. This is a joke, right? Literally, my top guy for B went right before my pick. Going to B. B was a little tougher. I will say that it did come down to 2 guys for me. It was either DeForest Buckner, who's a 91 Superstar Dev at 26, or it's Budda Baker on the back end here at strong safety. I did have Byard one spot ahead just because he was 1 overall point, but I think Budda Baker makes the most sense. I'm a huge fan. I have, you know, I play only in, if you play fantasy football and you don't play in IDP leagues, you're a casual. And I have Budda Baker. He is single-handedly been winning me games in my IDP leagues. So this is respect to the man, the myth, the legend, Budda Baker of the Arizona Cardinals. He is our fish. It's double it up. Double on the B's here. But he's number 41 in true value, getting him at pick 60. For C, there was some debate. We had Chris Carson still on the board, Jadeveon Clowney, Lael Collins, but at this point, we're just going to go with the best player available. Kind of ignore the age just a little bit. He's 29, but he's still an absolute beast. Superstar X Factor. Fletcher Cox of the Philadelphia Eagles coming in with our 3rd pick. Kind of glad D fell into our lap when it did. Phrasing. But we're going to grab Levante David, the veteran middle linebacker, 30 years old, 93 with a Superstar Dev trait. E was a little bit of a tough one. There was 2 tight ends, Zach Ertz and Evan Ingram, that I kind of consider, but I'm more so going at positional scarcity, and I think Tremaine Edmonds makes the most sense, given the fact that he's only 22 And if this is a rebuild that we're going to be in for a little bit of a long term, I want that upside versus, say, getting a, more for the most part, 30-year-old Zach Ertz. So Edmonds is our pick for the letter E. And for the letter F, this was actually probably the toughest one because at G, there's some names at G, especially at this position. Tight end, Dallas Goedert's there, Mike Gesicki's there. But I'm feeling like, given the first 2 picks of this draft, how they got vultured from me, let's just grab a guy that's 2279 star dev, that's a freak of nature, that's going to be pretty goddamn OP if we have to hop in and play some games. So for F, we are getting the young playmaking tight end from the Denver Broncos, Noah Fant. Now we're in a spot where it's tough, but for G, it's down to kind of 2 players for me. It's either Todd Gurley, 85-star running back, or, let's be honest, we haven't picked a quarterback yet, and we're getting kind of low. And then if you have to, like, go with a young, like, Tua's not going to last till T, let's be honest. I'm looking at the QB spot, and it's just like, all right, we might get Jordan Love at L, and I mean, he looked fairly solid, and he has the hidden dev trait, and we've used him before. You got, Drew Lock, 71-star. Or we get, the biggest gamble is Drew Lock still going to be there at L? I don't know, but I really don't like Jared Goff. So we're going to grab the man that kind of gets shipped out. And you kind of can view it from a salary cap standpoint. They picked Jared Goff over this man and shipped him to Atlanta. So for G, we're getting the Todd father, Todd Gurley. H was kind of going BPA versus thinking about youth. We're going to end up going with Rodney Hudson, the center from the Oakland Raiders. I was thinking about Mike Hughes, who's a star dev young corner for the Vikings. But, he's a 75 star dev versus a 93 superstar. Hudson, even at 34, 35, year 4, year 5, should still be playing at a high level. So let's just get BPA here in Rodney Hudson. Things got a little tricky at I because Richie Incognito was still there, one of the highest rated guards in the game. But he's like, for sure, one and done. So let's maybe make this selection with a little bit of youth, a little bit forward thinking in mind. So we're going to get Noah Igbinoghene, the first round draft pick, the corner out of Auburn from the Miami Dolphins. Who's, let's see. What do we got here? There's a true value. It's probably going to be bad. Oh, that's bad. Got to build the trenches, man. So at J, we're going to grab the guard from the Green Bay Packers, Elton Jenkins, who really could play anything, play like every spot in the O-line at Mississippi State, and that ends up actually being a good pick. At K, we're going to find our partner in crime for Fletcher Cox, and that is going to be the rookie out of South Carolina on the 49ers, Javon Kinlaw from South Carolina. Ends up being a pretty damn good pick. Didn't work. We got the L, and Drew Lock is no longer on the board. Is there even any other quarterbacks with L? E, F, G, A, H, Jesus Christ, we're going to have a terrible quarterback. G, okay, we might be back in play at M. Mariota at M. Rosen at R. Alex Smith for the time. I mean, we don't have to find it's a rebuild, right? We just technically might just need a quarterback that can only get us through a year until the draft. Trubisky there is also an option at T. At least when you had someone like Drew Lock who had a star dev, there's a chance we could develop into a franchise quarterback. So for right now, at letter L, QB's going to have to go back on the back burners here. Actually, a little bit surprised with the lack of good players at L, but here's a solid player. Corey Littleton, linebacker from the Rams, now on the Raiders, 26-75. Has that star dev, is a modern-day linebacker. That's a good get. Let's build up that line. Our linebacker core is going to be one of the strengths of this team. The smart decision would be drafting Eric McCoy, the center from the Green Bay, New Orleans Saints, and I could just slip into one of the guard spots. However, I'm not going to make the smart decision. I'm going to see if we can revive the career of Marcus Mariota. And is another position that I thought there would be a bunch of players with Ed, but I guess at this point in the draft could be tough, so we're just going to grab the best available. He still has some upside at 28, should be here for the long haul. That is guard from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Andrew Norwell is our pick for the letter N. For O, we're going with another young rookie corner. We got Igbinoghene at I, and at O, we're getting Michael Ojemudia, the corner from Iowa, now in the Denver Broncos, 22-77, a fairly high ceiling, if I do say so myself. Get another piece on the offensive line. At the letter P, we're getting Andrews Pete, who's 6'7", 316, can be flexed out to tackle if need be when this roster's all said and done. Star Dev, 26, still going to develop, still going to grow. Makes a whole lot of sense to make this selection as well. Q. Well, with the big hitter out of Miami, Shaq Quarterman. It's pretty tough when you get down to Q. Really, you're only hoping Patrick Queen's still on the board. But, hey, you know, it is what it is. And are going to continue to build our wide receiver core by getting the first-round pick of the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2020 NFL Draft, Jalen Reagor, to pair with our Davante Adams. Looking at some of the names here at S, I didn't even know Steven Sims. I think that's on the Redskins, 23, star dev. But I want to build a beastly backfield. I want an all-Georgia backfield. So to pair with Todd Gurley, we're going to bring in DeAndre Swift for the letter S. Another hidden dev rookie. For the letter T, we're going to go a little bit off the broken path here, but we need it on the line. You know, he's not been playing particularly well for the Giants this year, but at least in the realm of Madden, should develop into a nice franchise tackle, and that is Andrew Thomas, the rookie out of Georgia, getting another hidden dev rookie to our team. As I start the draft, some of the weird positions I was thinking of for the letter U, this is the only guy I can think of, and he's still on the board, so we're going to grab Josh Uche, the linebacker. I think he's on the Patriots out of Michigan. 72, nice young piece, only 21. Still has room to develop. All right, much like Josh Uche, when we came to V, I was like, I'm either going to get Jason Verrett or probably Valdez Scantling from the Green Bay Packers. Works out well. Height, weight, speed, 6'4", 206. Got, 92, 93 speed. It ended up being actually a good pick. Nice. Williams is a popular last name. I didn't think I'd have any trouble at W. It's just at this point, you know, round this is like 50, you know, obviously we're in the 20s now. Not a lot of names left at W. So I figured let's finish out our corner, our secondary, with 3 young pieces. We have Michael Ojemudia, we have Noah Bongahi, and lastly, we'll get Greedy Williams, the corner, formerly of LSU, now on the Cleveland Browns. There we go. Our secondary has been completed. Almost. Still got one more pick. Hopefully he's still there, because if not, I'm absolutely screwed in the next round. All right. Well, O'Shane Zimenez is off the board, so the only player with X that we could actually kind of draft that might play is Xavier Woods. So we have to de facto do the first name. It's a little bit of a loophole, but it's a solid player. It's actually a solid pick, 25-76. Much like a lot of these guys, with that age, there's a chance, especially normal dev at the safety spot in the sim in a franchise mode. I wouldn't be shocked if Woods gets a dev trade sooner than later. Why for me came down to 2 players. There's either TJ Yeldon, but we already have 2 running backs on the roster. There's going to be no injuries to worry about. So let's just get the best young player, and that is Isaac Yiadom, who used to be a draft pick of the Broncos. And he actually, I think he had like 7-8 tackles, something crazy like that. And the Monday Nighter just happened between the Giants and the Tampa Bay Bucks. So sure, we'll get our 4th corner over a 3rd running back. And to finish out the last of our alphabet part of the draft, because I'll just sim out the rest to let the roster fill up. I thought for sure Z was going to be Zerline, Legatron, but I'm looking at my roster. I don't have any edge rushers. Off the top of my head, unless one of those outside linebackers was an edge, I have no edge. So I'll just get Jabari Zuniga, maybe a little bit Gator bias. Even though Zerline is like an 80 star dev kicker, we need an edge rusher. There's some upside. It's Z. It's the friggin' last letter. Let's go. We'll get Zuniga. We'll sim out the rest of this. We'll make sure, at least for year 1, that every player that we picked as part of the alphabet draft will be starting, and then we'll let the draft here finish out the rest of our 53-man roster. All right, so the draft has been completed, and here is our starting lineup. Strengths and weakness of the team. Offensive line looks pretty damn good. Pretty good upside. Fan at tight end. You got Davante Adams, Jalen Reagor. Got some special skill position players. Running backs, great 1-2 punch. It's the quarterback. That's the biggest question on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, statistically, he's a fun user quarterback. I am just a little bit concerned about how he'll play in the sim. Defensively, we're a solid unit. The defensive line has some good youth to it with a veteran presence, and Fletcher Cox is an X factor. The secondary, Baker, he can lead this secondary, right? We got Woods who has some upside, Greedy Williams, Ojemudia, and Abogin here, very, very young players. It's not going to cost a lot of XP for their overalls to go up. So that's good, right? And then the linebacker core solid. Edmonds, Levante David, and Corey Littleton all have dev traits. All have a chance, given how cheesy outside linebackers go up. Dev traits in Madden's franchise mode to have, when all said and done, give me 2-3 years, we might have 3 X factors across the board and the best linebacking core in the NFL. So it is, I know, a little bit, at least for year one, this team will be hinged on how Marcus Mariota plays in the sim, but I'm optimistic that we'll find a way to win. We'll find a way to be a competitive squad here in the Madden 21 Fantasy Draft Rebuild Challenge, the Alphabet. So we didn't start week one. I wanted to show this. Usually we go to like the midway point, but it's a losing effort. But we had a weekly award for Mariota. So maybe, just maybe, he will excel in Kyle Shanahan's offense and we will get some results to go our way early in year one of this rebuild. Just a friendly reminder, week 3, we're not even that far, and Marcus Mariota has his second NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. What did we uncover in this rebuild, ladies and gentlemen? And by that I mean gentlemen. He did it again. He did it again. He has 3 out of 5 weeks. 3 award winners for Mariota. I didn't play this game, and we just beat the Patriots 51-0. And somehow Budda Baker didn't go up dev trait. But we beat the Patriots 51-0. So, and we didn't get a player of the week. Y'all know if I was playing this game, I'd be giving up points. There's no way I'd have a clean. Mariota, 2 touchdowns. Those are pick sixes. What was going on here? 2 touchdowns. Mariota, 3 touchdowns. Man, I mean, no one had a crazy game. 2 sacks there for Edmonds. Couple picks, Greedy Williams and Ibangnahi. And that was a pick 6 for, 51-0. All right, so coming out of the bye here in year 1, we're 6-4, which is better than expected, honestly. I thought we would be crippled by the lack of quarterback play, and here we are, only a game back behind the Cardinals here in the NFC West. I've had a lot of dev trait scenarios. We have yet to hit on one. I had one for Valdez-Scantling. I've had a dev trait scenario for Greedy Williams. I've had a dev trait scenario for Budda Baker. And I have had a dev trait scenario for Tremaine Edmonds. So we're due. We are due. Even if it's just getting a guy off normal to a star, we are due. In terms of contracts, yeah, these are mostly the guys that didn't fit my teams. Like, it's from the sim. So they didn't play a part of the Alphabet draft. So I'm not overly concerned about re-signing them. And I can just focus on replacing those guys' positions in the draft. I swear, man, there's something in this game when it comes to just being awful at the end of the season. I don't know how many videos I've done where my teams look good when we talk at the midway point, and then we're absolute garbage. Look at this. Like, yet again. Like, I would say on the top of my head, this is at least like the 5th or 6th time that my team just collapses after the bye. And it's like, it happened every now and again. That happens in football, right? Teams collapse. Teams peak. Teams do not play well at the end of the season. But the fact that this happened enough for me to like, that seems, I starting to sense a little bit of a pattern. But this video here, it's going to be good vibes only. Given how we've started and stuff, I'm not going to go down some conspiracy theory that Madden has just, the developers have found every way possible to make franchise mode not fun, not enjoyable. And hey, maybe our team just peaked. You know what I'm saying? I'll go through and actually spend those points later because I want to make sure everyone that's a young player is going to start getting up, built into their archetype. But yeah, we collapsed. Ended up tied for 2nd in the division. Mariota did not win any more Players of the Year, and he somehow a man that won 3 Offensive Player of the Weeks in the first 5 weeks still finished with this as his stat line. 4,300 yards, 26 touchdowns. It's not a bad year, though. You know, it's not bad. I might not have to get a quarterback, and I won't press the issue of getting a quarterback in our first draft. Gurley, solid year. 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Swift was okay. I actually thought we'd have more of a complimentary 1-2 punch at running back. Mariota had 4 rushing touchdowns, so they gave him 30 on the year. Receivers, we had 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns for Adams, 9 and 4 for Fant, 7 and 6 for Jalen Reagor, almost 703 for MVS. DeAndre Swift had 3 touchdowns at the backfield. Todd Gurley with 2. On the defensive side, Levante David led the team with 109 tackles. Also had 6 TFLs, 3 sacks, and 3 picks. 6 sacks. Fletcher Cox led the team. 13.5 TFLs. Not a bad year from Kinlaw, but you can see right now, we need edge rush help badly. Uche was a penciled-in starter at D-end. He had 1 sack. And Zuniga. Sure. How many downs did these guys play? I mean, that's not a whole lot. We're running like we must be running some weird scheme or something like that. Interceptions, Levante David led the team with 3. We had 3 from Xavier Woods, 2 for Littleton, 2 for Greedy Williams, 1 for Abani, 1 for Buda Baker. I would say out of everyone, Buda Baker's probably the guy I'm the most disappointed with that stat line. He should be a lot more of a playmaker than what he was. He flipped his stats with Xavier Woods. I'd be okay with it. Overall, we had a top 10 offense. Full kudos to Kyle Shanahan. And defensively, we were 5th. Top 10 and top 5, and we lost. Don't think about it. Just don't think about it, C4. Move on to the next year. Russell Wilson was the MVP with the Cleveland Browns. If there was a comeback player of the year, it probably would go to Marcus Mariota, as he was number 6 in offensive player of the year voting. Defensive player of the year went to Kawan Williams. Weird. Levante David at 9. Offensive rookie of the year went to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Panthers got some, all right, they got some firepower there. And Bucks got some firepower. Looks like every team that kind of didn't play well got doubled up on some really good rookies. Swift at 5, Rager at 6 for us. Defense rookie of the year went to Patrick Queen, Kinlaw at 4, Ojemudia at 6, and Abanahi at 10 for best quarterback. Didn't even make it. Best running back, Gurley at 8. Best wide receiver, best lineman, we got Rodney Hudson at 5. Best D lineman went to Myles Garrett on the Falcons. Hey, there's like the first guy we notably passed over at B, getting DeForest Buckner, passing on him for Buda Baker. Best linebacker went to Bud Dupree. Levante David at 9. Best DB went to K'Wan Williams. And we had nothing. What about kickers? Hey, Dustin Hopkins showing up. So, yeah. Really wish our team didn't peak, because that would just kind of cap off a really intriguing and exciting season with Mariota at the helm and all these young pieces. But, of course, we can't have nice things in Madden 21, so we'll just go right into the offseason. For year 1 free agency in these fantasy drafts, it's always, kind of garbage, even though there's the reigning defending defensive player of the year there. We're just going to sit this one out. All right, so the first round of pick 12, I will say my intrigue is very much peaked with this guy. Carlos Watts didn't attend the combine, early first-round talent. Now, the B-plus catching kind of scares me off a little bit. I'm also really, really intrigued with this guy, Tremaine Thomas, mid-first rounder in terms of projection, but early first-round talent. The skills look good. The combine is very good. However, our team's issue was sacks. We could not get sacks, and there are some very capable edge rushers here. More so Brian Williams. Now, the question is he going to be available in the second round? Because we also have this guy here, Donovan. Oh, that's an awesome name. That's an all-time name. I need edge rushers. I need... This is Donovan Blade, huh? Does he hunt vampires? He's going to be the pick. And he's 6 in true value, getting a pick 12, 75 normal depth, power rusher. I'm not going to say anything. You know what I'm thinking. Well, I'm not going to say anything because I'm trying my best to at least project happiness and good values in my video. I mean, the stats look pretty damn good. Athletically, he's nice. Power move, 83 power move right out the gate. A little bit worried about that block shed, but I mean, that's more, a run defense stat. Donovan Blade looks pretty good, man. It's a good pick outside of something that we're not going to talk about. Second round, there are a couple players I got to think about. One, we have Jamie Gaines here. Really good combine. Early third rounder. We have mid, but our linebacking core is good. Between Littleton, we got Tremaine Edmonds. We got Levante. Now, I guess the argument could become, do we want to prepare for life beyond Levante Davis? He's now 31. Or we also have this guy Kilgore at free safety. Just add another safety to the mix. Could he be an upgrade over Xavier Woods? Somewhat legitimate. The skills, I'm intrigued, even though it does have hit power there. Man, the skills for Gaines look good. However, while I'm intrigued and satisfied with Mariota, we still kind of crashed and burned, and this guy here looks pretty intriguing for a quarterback prospect. Early first round. He's a late first round talent, but it's just... Yeah, why not? We'll grab the QB. Oh, 72. Let's not talk about the other thing. Number 25 in true value. We got a quarterback with throw power, 88 throw power. He literally looks like Mariota for the most part. Cool. So for a draft, if you're not looking for a certain thing known as a dev trait, this is a pretty damn good draft. We saw the first 2 picks. Outside of that, in the 5th round, I got LaMichael Johnson, a 70 overall normal dev DN scheme fit. Then we got a middle linebacker here, Hillman, 68 overall scheme fit, who actually looked pretty solid. And then I finished up with another DN, 66 scheme fit, Zach Chamberlain out of Texas A&M. Man, that guy is sweaty. Why is he already sweating? Either way, Blade and Curtis. I mean, Blade, you know, hopefully that name will help him get a dev trait sooner than later. And I'll say right now, I'll probably, unless I was blown away with Curtis, he had to probably come in. If he was a 71, 72, somewhere in that range, he had to have a dev trait. I think at least we start the season, year 2, with Mariota at quarterback and understand that we do have a young guy that we can go to if need be. So for year 2, here is our alphabet team, what it lines up as. Again, like I said, we're going to go Mariota at quarterback, but it will be a short leash. Say, at that bye, when we reevaluate things, if things are not looking good, we will give the keys to Curtis. Outside of that, not much has changed on the offense. Everything else actually kind of remains the same. Thomas had a hidden dev last year, came out as a star. Rager had hidden dev, it's a star. He's now wide receiver 2, even though we will keep him as our primary slot wide receiver. Defensively, Blade will get the start at DN along with Uche. Levante David went up dev trait from a superstar to a superstar X Factor as kind of expected because linebackers, that's just what they do in this game. Same with Littleton. Littleton got off star to a superstar even though Edmonds was the better player. Don't really know how that worked. Still looking for, I would love at least just one of these corners to go up dev trait. Last year, Greedy Williams did have a scenario and we failed to hit it even though we won 55-0 against the Patriots. But, you know, it's still a team that I'm optimistic about, that we won't collapse this year. And if we do and it starts looking shaky at midseason, we have a 2nd-round pick quarterback that could be able to take this team to higher levels. But still got trust in Mariota. Let's get into year 2. Let's come to the bye in year 2. We're 3-5. Unless Mariota has like top 10 numbers, which he's 29th. It's, you know, we had a chance of something cool in year 1, and then Madden just kind of shit all over that. So we will be making the switch. Curtis, our 2nd-round pick out of Stanford, will be now our starting quarterback for the remainder of the season. See how he can do, if he can turn it around. I got a little bit of XP here to spend for my coach. I'm going to get it on the offensive line. And contracts, I suppose. Hopefully, maybe the quarterback switch will make Devontae Adams happy, as he is one of our best players. Julian Love is set to hit free agency. He is a solid player, but he was just one of those guys that the draft auto picked up, so I'm less attached. If it's someone that I did not personally get for the alphabet, and they're just on this team, they're a solid player, I just have no real interest in retaining them for the sake of the identity of this rebuild, so we'll let those guys walk, and let's see what the rookie QB can do in the second half of the season. So it didn't really change much for the outlook of the season. We finished 7-9 like we did last year. So I'm a little bit concerned. I'm starting to get a little concerned with my team. So basically they played the same amount of games for the most. We were like right around mid-season. And I mean, Curtis played better. 10-8 to 15-5. So I guess we made the right decision there. Running the ball, Gurley 9-10. Swift, there we go. That's a little bit more of complimentary running back football that I thought we'd see. In terms of receiving, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns for Devontae Adams, 840-5 for Rager, 7-3 for Fant, 4-4 for MVS. Defensively, David tackle machine, as well as chipping in with 4 interceptions. We got 11 sacks from Fletcher Cox, 7 from Uche, 11 TFL, 6 sacks from Donovan Blade, our first-round draft pick. I'm happy with the sack numbers. Interception numbers are solid too. Xavier Woods, 4 picks. 4 to go with Levante David. Drop off in offense. What were we last year? 8th or 9th or something like that? Just drop off all around. We were top 10 in both offense and defense last year. MVP went to Russell Wilson yet again on the Cleveland Browns in the NFC. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of 49ers represented here, unfortunately. But hey, let's see what we got. Levante David, number 5. Offensive rookie there with Jerry Porter. Larry Curtis, runner-up at number 2. Would have been nice to get him go up a depth trade, but that is. Donovan Blade is a defensive rookie of the year. And then for the rest, just at least in terms of award winners, we don't got anything. But our rookies balled out. So hopefully at the turn of the, from Pro Bowl to the Super Bowl, we have a couple dev traits to talk about and highlight before we get into year 3 offseason. Yes, I got 2 points and a dev trait for Donovan Blade. Good. Happy with that. That's all I got. I'm happy with it. But I guarantee my linebackers will have dev trait just cuts. Look at the defense here. Oh, there you go. Just cuts. Corey Littleton. I think almost I'm going to make Littleton a left outside linebacker now that he got his X Factor. And we'll make Tremaine Edmonds the right outside linebacker. Just see if we can get Edmonds up to a superstar X Factor. If Madden's going to be broken, I might as well try my best to take advantage of it. So we'll flip Littleton and we'll make Edmonds here a right outside linebacker. Even if it doesn't work automatically, get Edmonds up to a superstar. He's on the right side of 25. It's going to be what's best for business with this squad. No other depth traits to talk about. So let's get into the offseason. For free agency, it's year 2. There's not much here. So I'm just going to build up depth because I have no depth on the offensive line. So I'm going to see if I can just get some cheap guys so I don't need to be burning my draft picks there. So draft recap time. Now, drafting is going to be a little bit tricky because our team is, for the most part, very young. So it's going to be almost BPA. Just get guys that might have a chance of getting a dev trait, which, you know, if that's what you're looking for, it might be a tough time. I did sim this draft after this selection, the 4th round of a 70 linebacker, so I might be surprised with the hidden dev trait. But the first round here, again, just thinking of the veterans on the team. Fletcher Cox is going to be a name that comes up in consideration. And Jared Lambert of Wisconsin was our only early first-round scouted player. He looks like a beast, to be honest with you. 6'6", 300 pounds, 96 strength. The tackle looks solid. You know, let's just ignore the elephant in the room. With second round, we got 2 wide receivers. Second and third round, we got Taron Randolph from LSU, 6'4", 230. 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 85 catching. Freak of nature. This guy's an absolute beast. 92 jumping. Then we got Luke Flowers out of LSU, doubling up with the LSU players here. He also looks pretty goddamn nice. I got Love, a 69 normal dev corner. Got a 70 normal dev linebacker. Let's see what the computer did. Got a normal. I'm pretty much just looking for dev traits at this point. All right. Well, it's still a solid draft. Coming to the bottom, year 3. It's not great. Now, 3 and 4. Looking at the quarterback play. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not bad nor good. But this is the first wave of free agents, though, that we need to talk about. We need to discuss. DeAndre Swift was our selection for the letter S. So I feel like for that, we'll try to get him. We have Andres Pete, who was our selection for the letter P. Let's get him for the remaining 2 seasons for sure. We have Jalen Reagor, who was our pick for the letter R. I'm not going to say that for everyone. Pretty much anyone that was an actual pick in the alphabet draft, I will re-sign them. And this is the first wave. So for some guys, though, I'll extend just really long contracts so it kind of lessens our salary cap hit. We got Xavier Woods here at strong safety. He wants a little bit more money. We have MVS. Well, I should be happy with that contract. Staying employed. Josh Uche, give him a little bit longer contract for a lesser cap hit. He wants more money, of course. We have Greedy Williams at corner, looking for a 3-year deal. He wants more money. We have Zuniga. Give him 4 years, something like that. Kick the can down the road, less than a $3 million cap hit. And Yadam, let's give him 3-year, under $2 million hit. Everything is looking good. Can't forget Quarterman. All letter Q there, but we'll come back for the couple players that didn't want to re-sign and make it happen. All right, year 3, 10 wins. 10-6. Gia wants to talk to us, get a little morale boost before this playoff run. We're going to run the gauntlet. We're in the wild card against the Green Bay Packers. But at least we got some playoff football here, and rightfully so. We're, what, a 90 overall, 92 offense, 89 defense. Looking at the stats in Larry Curtis' first full year as a starter. That's fringe top 10 quarterback numbers. 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns to 10 picks. Also chipped in 200 yards and a rushing touchdown there. Gurley and Swift looking good. Receiving 12-5 for Devontae Adams. He's been sensational and now a member of the 99 club. We have Fant with 8-9, 8-7 for MVS, 6-7 for Jalen Reagor. Defensively, Littleton, pretty good production. Vontae David, who's been like automatic for these interception numbers. He's been outstanding. 9 sacks, Fletcher Cox, 9 for Uche, 7.5 Edmonds, 7 for Kinlaw. Would like to probably see a little bit more interceptions in the secondary, but beggars cannot be choosers. We are a top 20 offense, coming in at 18, and defensively, top 10, coming in at top 5, coming in number 5. Lamar Jackson of the Saints is your MVP for our team. Let's just kind of see what we got. Larry Curtis coming in number 5 for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year went to Buckner with Levante David at 8. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Sydney. Who I'm not going to lie, I think that's like backup tight end. Sure. Our number 1 pick in the draft, Lambert, coming at number 6 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. For the individual awards, no Niners there. That's fine because we made the playoffs and it's all about team success. So let's hop in here, play the moment, see what's going on in the wild card here in year 3 against the 10-6 Green Bay Packers. Mr. Larry Curtis. Is that the name of the guy from the Dr. Pepper commercials? Or like the Pac-12 commissioner. I don't know. That name sounds familiar. But either way, let's go. Let's see what we can do. Top 5 defense. That's something that we can kind of hang our hat on here, that we hope performs well in the sim. Now, I didn't actually get a sneak peek of what Green Bay's roster looked like, so I don't really know exactly what we're going up against. But it's a low-scoring game. Battle of two pretty strong defenses here. In the third quarter, we have a 3-point lead. Green Bay's able to get back-to-back scores to kick out the fourth quarter, but we're remaining pace here. We have 3 minutes to go. A chance to win it. And I don't know what just happened there. I think we had an interception. That's phenomenal. Fourth down. We might as well hop in and see what Larry Curtis looks like as we pretty much have to accept that we're going to year 4. What do we got? Fant, Rager. It's going to be a bomb. He only has 88 throw power, so it's not like we're going to be able to... Oh, my God. Okay. Well, that's Aaron Donald. I guess he does things like that. Just absolutely destroyed Andrew Speed. We got sacked 9 times. 9 sacks given up on the day by this 49ers offensive line. And that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know about where this game went. They have a young quarterback as well. But I guarantee he did not get sacked 9 times. We got 2 sacks, one from Fletcher Cox, one from Kinlaw. Looking at the Packers, 2.5 for Bradley Chubb, 2.5 for Von Miller, 2 for Aaron Donald, sack and a half for BG. I mean, that is actually that's a terrifying front, to be honest with you. But yeah, year 4. All right, so for free agents, in these style of rebuilds, I'm very, very hesitant to spend any money because at least when we have a theme, I want to prioritize making sure I have enough money to re-sign all of our alphabetical players. So, we'll just chill. We're not going to spend any money. Let's see if we have any dev trade increases, though. 88 overall across the board now that our team's morale is kind of worn off. And, Rodney Hudson retired. So that being said, we could go look and see if we can upgrade center. Right? There's a legit spot that we could look at. I guess quarterback as well. And on the defensive side, he didn't go up depth trades. Well, we got 2 X factors here. That's fine. No other depth trade increase. So let's see. What do we got for center and quarterback here in free agency? At quarterback, well, I'm good with what we have. And then at center, or at least anyone that could potentially play center. Not much there at guard. At center, we got Postage 20. I mean, yeah. Nate Davis plays center. 6'3", very small. I'm gonna go under the assumption that we might be able to get someone like Nate Davis to come and play center for us. So we'll give the top bid there. Other than that, let's actually see if we land him. We'll go right into the draft. Of course, there'll probably be like 3 first-round centers that I could sign, but we got Nate Davis, who will go right here, and now make him our starting center. Really solidify the offensive line. Even though there is a very legitimate argument that center doesn't matter. If you ever look at your final offensive line stats, center always gives up the least amount of total sacks. And that's just the nature of the beast. So he goes from an 82 guard to an 82 center. So at least under that assumption, he's a fine center option for the 49ers. Very, very quick draft recap here as I literally only made the first 2 picks. We got Grubbs, who is number 9 in true value. Let's just ignore the elephant in the room. He's a scheme fit, solid looking player. Number 9 in true value, though. So if this is number 9 in true value, probably a pretty shit draft. We got a wide receiver here. We simmed out. We got another wide receiver. Did we get a single dev trait? Come on, computer. Help me out. That's actually not a bad pick there. Running back, Irons, no dev trait. Cool. Like, subscribe. Midway point of year 4, and we're a 4-3 team. That's respectable. First place in the West. We might have a chance here. Honestly, let's spend some Coach XP and we'll look at some contracts. So in terms of positions, probably wide receivers will be next one to get that little bit of boost. And we'll be re-signing everyone that is part of our original draft. So Kinlaw, Jenkins, Fant, Gurley, Norwell, Ojemudia, Littleton, Ibanhi, Mariota, all will be getting brand shiny new contracts. End of the year 4, we lost our divisional lead, 7-9. All right. So, hey, Curtis is playing well, though. 34 touchdowns, 4,200 yards, 1,007 for Gurley. We got, Devontae Adams, very consistent. Rager, Fant, and Randolph all had fairly solid numbers. Defensively, Devontae David continues to be a machine. No interceptions this year. 11.5 sacks for Fletch, 9 and 9. I'm happy with it. Interceptions are definitely down. Just a quick look at the MVP went to Mahomes. Year 5, Super Bowl or bust time. In terms of depth traits, nothing on the defense, but maybe the most important spot did get one, as Larry Curtis went from normal to a star after a little bit of a breakout season last year. Because this is going to our final year, might as well spend that money if we can, that $30 million cap. So Marlon Mack presents an upgrade there, even though I kind of want DeAndre Swift to potentially start. At wide receiver, we're probably more so good there. On the offensive line, there's no immediate upgrade. Defensive line, nothing there. Linebacker, nothing there. And the secondary, nothing there. Free safety. Okay, so we'll bring in old Goggles, I suppose, at kicker. And all right, that'll be it. Because I don't really want to we still have the alphabet running backs. I don't want to just break that up for the sake of breaking that up. So we'll bring in Goggles, and that is personally an impact playmaker. All right, so for our final draft, I just made the first pick. At this point, it's just about can I draft a depth trait? He was number 7. I got Peter Faulkner, just because you saw the regression, a little bit of Levante Davis, not down to a 77. This guy was number 7 in true talent in the draft. 75. Ignore the elephant in the room. Hell of a player, man. This guy actually looks insane. 90 speed, 88 tackle, 85 pursuit. The play rec's already nice. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this guy. Let's see. Did the computer get me any depth traits? No. Hey, Josh Paxton out of Kansas, 69 hidden dev. Our first out of, we're going to be going on what? 30 picks? 1 of 30. Shouldn't be that hard, especially for someone who's my friggin' job for the most part. But hey, got a nice linebacker there. All right, I'm already going to start talking now because I'm not going to draw this one out. It looks like it's not happening, fellas. Let's sim to playoffs. Maybe we get a chance. I mean, we're a 91 overall. We should be pretty damn good. Uche got a dev trait. I didn't mention that. It's probably the only thing that was... Oh, I guess we also decided to cut Levante David. The computer did that. Thanks, appreciate that. X Factor and higher overall than the other linebacker. And we don't have salary cap issues. Appreciate it, Madden. So, as always, guys, like I said, I'll be absolutely shocked if we finally make the playoffs. Keep on suggesting your ideas. I went through the comments the other day, and oh, shit, we made the playoffs. You guys have actually given some great ideas. Like I said, this was a submitted idea. So, keep on keeping on with that. And we found a way to have a pulse here. What were we, 3-4? And we finished 9-7 winning the NFC West. Just to show you that, like, sometimes there's some showmanship. Behind the scenes to make a video. I didn't do anything. We put it on them. Finish strong here. Finish strong. Look at the stats real quick. What happened to win the NFC West? Well, Curtis is, a solid quarterback. Unfortunately, we still have Mariota on the roster, but probably wouldn't be achieving these levels of success if we kept Mariota as our starting quarterback. Swift, not as good as Gurley as a starter. Devontae Adams has been sensational. Probably, if we had to get an MVP award, it would be, if we're excluding the first 5 weeks of year 1, it's been Devontae Adams here in the Rebuild, but rightfully so. He's a 99. He should be unstoppable for the most part. On the defensive side, Faulkner, the rookie, led the team with 114 tackles. We got 8.5 sacks for both Fletcher Cox and Kinlaw. 3 picks, Michael Ojemudia. Quick look at the yearly awards. MVP went to Mahomes, who's doing his thing for the Bears. That much sting. As let's get into the playoffs. We kick things off at home, hosting the 10-6 football team. All right, so I'm thinking of this. We'll just pop a Barrett. If things look a little shenanigan-y, we'll hop in. We're not going to wait till the 4th quarter when we're down 20. But we'll give it a drive or two and just see how this 49ers team can handle Washington in the sim. Right now, it's not looking good. It is not looking good. We get a 3rd down. Oh, my God. Okay. 3rd and inches. Probably could just run this one. Well, we have a scrambling quarterback. This was the fastest, one of the fastest quarterbacks in his draft class. I will take off if I have to. And I will. Curtis. Go no huddle. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Actually, no, I didn't feel like helping you guys out. Here we go. First touchdown. Let's get a second half comeback here. Okay, nope. Keep on giving me your ideas in the comments, guys. One of these is bound to build a winner. All right? So that being said, thank you for watching. Hopefully you were thoroughly entertained. My interest was peaked at an all-time high with Mariota at the beginning. But, you know, it's the game that we're playing with this year. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Smash the like button if you like the Fantasy Rebuild Challenge series. Leave a comment if you have a good suggestion. I'm going to keep adding them to the list and adding them. And it's only a matter of time we find a way to win a Super Bowl. We're on a little bit of a downturn. We have won a Super Bowl before, but it's been, I think, 2 or 3 that we haven't been able to win. So we got to get something to get back on track. So if you have a fantasy draft idea that you know for sure will help us win a Super Bowl, and it's not just, hey, C4, draft the highest overall player. Hey, do a fantasy draft and actually make it like if you were drafting in the NFL was an entire draft class. But yeah, that'll do it from here. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.